fingers crossed, all goes well, we should now be live, Darren. So we'll see whether anybody comes in. Let's put that there. It's cutting a lot of me out. There we go. Let's go. That'll do. That'll do, I think. Okay. Right. Let's see. Yeah, well, there's pictures there. Looks like it's working. Now just see whether anybody rocks up. Ah, first, James Jones. Hello, welcome, sir.
Oh.
Look at that, that's dedication. Seconds we've been online and he's straight on there. I salute you, James. Ah, and David's in there as well. Evening. Hello, hello. Sorry it's been a while. It's so hot tonight. It's so hot. I don't know where you guys are coming from, but dear God, it's warm. It's baking. And I haven't got a drink, actually. That's really poor preparation for this stream.
Ain't water behind you in there?
No, there's no water. No. Well, there is actually, but that's for paintbrushes, Darren. That's not. I can't.
Come on, every painter's done it.
Yeah, not a full bucket full of paint water. No, thanks very much. Yeah, dedicated. Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. We'll wait as always. We'll see whether we get a few more people. Let's send out some messages and stuff like that, and see if we can get anybody in. Let's put some messages out. I know who's good for. Where's Nick? Started. It's thrilling for you guys watching me text. Beautiful. Spread the word. How's people going anyway? How's people doing? How's everyone? Is everyone doing well tonight? Everyone been doing much hobby? Let's put some in here as well. Bival's got better in the FAQ, don't you, Lion Sight? Yeah, thank God for that. Thank God for that. I was worried. Can't fire Overwatch though with them, which is a bit of a shame because that would have been ridiculously powerful. But yeah, at least they can actually hide now and shoot, which is good. Live stream started. I can't pick a list at the moment though, to be fair, James. That's my problem. I'm really struggling. Everything's so good. I just cannot pick a list at all. It's a nice place to be in, eh, Darren?
I can never pick a list.
You know. Well, what you favouring the chaos, I'm guessing, yeah?
Yes. Well, Gibraltar's coming up very, very quickly. Quicker than I'd like to think.
I know. Tell me about it.
Yeah, studio being built at the moment as well.
Yeah.
So I'm probably going to go with Thousand Suns. They're not going to be the powerful list on 40k at the moment.
Yeah.
Only because they've just had the power.
Yeah.
In previous meta and that.
Yeah.
But I think I'm going to go with the underdog and I'm going to go with them.
No, fair enough, mate. Should be fun. Played 3 games with Tau so far. Won every game. Yeah, Tau are underrated. They're underrated. They're actually still very good, to be fair. They're not bad. They're actually really, really not bad. You just pick what's cool, James. Yeah, absolutely. That's, I think, ultimately the good thing is, particularly if you play Tyranids at the moment, it doesn't really matter what you pick. It's all good. There's no real bad units, so it's not a problem. Hey, Samuel. Hello, hello. What about the marker drone things? Yeah, they've been a bit neutered, haven't they? So I don't know whether you guys have kind of picked it up, but the FAQ does mean I don't think they're quite as good. You can't kind of use everybody else's marker drones and stuff. It seemed like they got a bit of a kick in, because they're using that the commander with all the drones, but it doesn't look like that's a thing anymore. Don't know. Let's have a look.
Not a bad thing, surely.
No, of course it is. Tau don't need any more kicking. Dear God, we've got enough kicking in 8th edition.
Good.
No, not good. Take away all our toys. Not fair.
Finally, Khorne can get up there and actually do some damage.
This is true. Scrag. Hello, hello. Of course he has to talk about Jeff Cakes when he comes in. I was going to say it's nice to see you, my friend, but maybe I'll take that back. How you doing anyway? Not heard from you for a while. I don't know whether I've missed a few videos, but you've looks like you've been as quiet as me recently. How's tricks? All right? You good? Started my Demacaron. It's going to take me ages. Such a cool model though. Such a cool model. He's damn good as well. Not too bad points wise for the damage he can do. And he's a bit quicker now. So he'll be a lot more effective. I'm not really, to be fair, I'm not really putting him in many lists at the moment, but maybe maybe I should look at that. He'd be a nightmare to travel with though, to be fair. I think what we'll probably do is kick things off. How are you going with the chat, Darren? Can you see the chat? Are you watching it?
Yeah, I suppose it'd be better if I put my eyes in. I can actually see without squinting.
Because then I'll start this ball rolling, and you can keep an eye on the chat. If that sounds good. Cool. Okie dokie. Well, welcome, guys. As I said, we've been having a little chat, but welcome to Wargaming Weekly, the weekly show. I say weekly, we've missed the last couple, but the weekly show where we talk about all things wargaming related even. Generally, we concentrate on 40k, but we do a lot of Age of Sigmar as well, and any other game systems that are floating about as well. We'll cover them as well. So yeah, it's banter filled. We do rumours. We talk about news. We talk about tournaments, lists, you name it, we'll go over it. It's a very interactive show, so if you're watching this as a pre-recorded, check it out. It's 10 o'clock every Thursday night. Is when we go online, and as I said, it's a very interactive show. We kind of like to have a good old chat and get involved in what the messages and bits and pieces that come through. So hopefully it's going to go well tonight. We've had major issues with internet and what have you, but so far so good. The connection looks pretty strong. So I'm going to welcome my good friend Darren, part of the team at Twisted Dice. So you get another chance to ask some questions and catch up with Darren. So how you doing, Darren?
Been a very, very busy boy.
What have you been up to?
Very busy.
Tell us.
So last 2 weeks kind of gone off the radar. But however, I have been pulling down garages, digging up my garden, and just invested into a studio. So hopefully by end of play next week, hopefully we should be able to be recording live out of the studio. Fingers crossed. Of course, providing that no one lets me down.
So this studio, Darren, it's looking good, isn't it?
It's looking awesome. It is absolutely looking awesome. Of course, the missus doesn't think so because it's kind of taken up half the garden. So still trying to do the old selling point on that. However, it does mean we do get to get 2 big tables in there, 2 big gaming tables in there, a little bar, and a comfy sofas in there as well. And people do like to come down and have a little game with us. Ear flowing. That's it.
This is it. Exactly, there's going to be good. It's going to be a good laugh. Seriously, looking forward to it, and I suppose a little bit of information for you guys. So basically, we launched a channel. Obviously, hopefully, a few of you subscribed, if not all of you. We launched a channel now a good 2 months ago, but one of the holdbacks is really kind of we wanted to set it at a really high level, and to do that, it was important that we had the right kind of premises, the right kind of lighting, the right kind of audio. So we did a few battle reports within a studio. Cost quite a lot of money. It was unrealistic to keep that going. So Darren kind of decided that he would bite the bullet and build us a studio. So that's what he's basically been doing. And because of that, what it's going to mean is, even though, as I said, content is relatively slow at the moment, give it, let's say a month. Let's give you a bit of time, Darren. So in a month's time, we hopefully you should see some real regular content coming out of Twisted Dice, and that is a really exciting prospect. So we've got myself, Darren, we've got Sean, who you would have seen already on the channel, we've got Chris, who's come on board as well, and we've got another, at least one to announce as well. So it's exciting. We've got a bit of a team in place now, and as Darren said, we'll be looking forward to kind of getting some more people on the channel as well. So it's a big project. It's taken a lot of work. It's been really kind of stop-start to get off the ground. It's not kind of launched as we wanted it to, but I can assure you it's something to get excited about, because it's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait to kind of to really kind of get the things going, but it's going to be good, eh, Darren?
Really looking forward to it, and at the moment I haven't had a chance of playing much of the 8th just yet, because all my time and dedication has just been solely digging into that big man cave of ours. Yeah. When it's ready.
Well, the chat's filling up, so welcome to all the people that have just jumped in. I see that old Wargames is there, so I don't know who that is, who are the team. I'm assuming it's Martin, the big man, but you never know, it might be one of the other guys as well. So welcome, Wargames. Well done on your first show yesterday. Now you feel the full pains of internet connection issues and the gremlins that is streaming live, but a great start, well done. Hello, Mr. Idic Beer, Nick the legend. Big congratulations to you. I don't know what the hell's happening on your channel. You've got to stop buying subs. It looks so obvious now. It was fine at first, but wow, those subs have gone through the roof. But no, all joking apart, well done, mate. Thoroughly deserved. And if you haven't already, the last few videos that Nick's put up, all his 8th edition stuff is first class, and it's not surprising that he's absolutely taking off in subs. And even more reason, he's got a competition running for his 7,000 subscribers, even though the reality is it's probably going to be closer to 8,000 subscribers soon, the way he's going. If he hasn't reached it already, I haven't checked today, and he's picking up subscribers so quickly, I wouldn't be surprised if he's 8,000 today. But yeah, so well done, Nick. Thanks for joining us this evening. Absolutely congratulations. Top work. Keep up the hard work. And yeah, it just shows what a lot of dedication can do, because Nick's been going a long time now, and it's paying off, and he's not driven it as far as, he's not gone after subs, he's not gone after the kind of the you know, he's not played that game. He's just done his own thing. He's built that slow, steady foundations, and now he's really kind of putting it into overdrive, and those subs are picking up. So it's a great kind of accomplishment, and just shows that it's not all about hitting thousands of subs overnight. It's not about that. It's playing the long game, and it's building a channel that you're truly proud of, and I think that's something we can all kind of learn from. So well done, Nick. Okay, oh, we've got Rob. Hello, Rob. You are a legend as always. We've got Carl in here as well, so it's filling up. It's good stuff. It's good to see everybody. Thanks for coming back. Sorry it's been a couple of weeks. As I said, it's, to be honest with you, last week the main reason why it didn't happen was I was packing my bags for heat-free Age of Sigmar, and then realised that in fact I hadn't painted loads of stuff, so I kind of spent Thursday evening painting. So that was kind of that. But anyway, I digress. As I was saying, so news this week, we've got the releases of the new Primus kind of characters. You seen them, Darren? What are you thinking of them?
I'm loving them. I'm loving all the. I know there's a lot of haters out there that don't like the Primus stuff and that, but I'm loving them. Loving all the new models coming out at the moment.
Yeah, pretty sweet. I love that librarian. That librarian's looking sick.
Looking very good. The detail on him is absolutely awesome.
Yeah.
However, I do feel he needs a tainted chaos to him, though.
Do you reckon? You're just
definitely need.
You're feeling you need some true scale chaos, are you?
Yeah, I've got loads of them here, just sat here, just waiting. I've just been so badly itching to start converting, cutting up, and green stuff in the hell out of them. And start bringing them to the ways of chaos. Well, they haven't been on the. You know, they need that little taint to them.
Yeah.
I'm so itching to get to it.
Yeah. So the news as well. So we've got the. So that's obviously what's kind of launched or gone on pre-release, but we've got some other big announcements. There's the imminent launch of the General's Handbook 2, which is exciting stuff. But also, probably what a lot of you guys are starting to get very excited about is the first codexes. Any of them that float in your boat, Darren? Any of them you're after? Or...
Oh, come on, straight away, the Death Guard. You know we're going to be seeing Mortarion coming out on this next one. And if you look at the rule book, there's some other little hidden gems in there. I think we're going to see a new kind of like Maulafine type, tyranny type monster coming out from that. That, if you look in the books and that, yeah, I reckon that's going to be good. It's interesting to see how they go with this, though. So they're not going to go down the formation side. So where do they go with this, with the command points, etc., etc.? Because they've already said they're going to be changing some of the points and some of the ruling on some of them, aren't they?
Yeah.
So it's interesting to see where they go with it.
Yeah, I mean the flavour, as I say, so Nurgle got their resilience, haven't they? So that's kind of their big thing, isn't it? But yeah, hi Julian, welcome to the chat, welcome to the party, and UK Pagan, I think that's how you say it. So welcome as well. As I said, chat's filling up, which is good. But yeah, I think it's exciting times. It's nice that we've started to get these codexes out pretty quickly, because there's a few gripes about the lack of flavour within the indexes, but they were always going to be like a gap filler, weren't they? So
I didn't mind it.
Yeah,
but then again, I haven't played a lot yet, so.
Yeah, I don't mind it. I mean, I think the Tyranids are looking awesome, so I'm not really too bothered. I'm quite happy just to play with the indexes for a while. But I think potentially if you're focusing in on any of the like marine chapters, they don't have a lot of flavour. They don't have very many special rules at the moment, so I think it's quite, that's one of the things that people were a little bit frustrated about. But I think as a launch, they've given us stuff to play with all our toys, so we can't complain too much, and really reasonably priced. Ultimately those indexes are pretty cheap, aren't they?
They're not bad at all.
No, absolutely. So we've got that. So what else we got? So we've got there's going to be the Space Marine one, and I was interested in the fact that it's still titled as Space Marine. So it sounds like Space Marines will get like a whole codex that will be Space Marines and Primus Marines. I thought potentially that they would separate them, almost make them as two different things, but it looks like they're going to still kind of keep them together, which I suppose makes sense. So we've got Marines. Thoughts about Marines? Excited? No, not really. You don't really like the Marines, do you? It's not your thing.
I don't really care for the Smurfs.
Don't really care for the Smurfs. It's fair
Scum.
Enough. Scum.
30 players. I'm just glad the Grav train's been dumbed down.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Grav's still good, to be fair. Grav isn't bad. It's not an auto-include, which is good. So, yeah, it's brought it down. And the biggest thing is it doesn't just stop vehicles and walkers in the paces, which I think that was the real killer. Because if you wanted to play things like, and you've got a lot in your army, like things like, like Maulafines and your Slaughterers and all that type of thing, there was just no point in playing them, because in 7th edition, they could be just literally standing there waving for the rest of the game.
Yeah, and if you've got a Maulafine that doesn't shoot or do anything, it has to get in close combat. You just need that unlucky 6 to get in on you, and that's it, game over. They don't have to do nothing to you left. So, yeah, you're right. Now the fact that Grav's not as it was before, I'm loving that. Just gives you more of a fighting chance.
Yeah. But I suppose, and we'll talk about, actually, in fact, let's not talk about it. We'll go through all the codexes first, because what I want to talk about a little bit today is I want to talk a little bit about the start of the meta that's coming through, so particularly the competitive meta. Just to kind of talk through a little bit of that. Some of it you probably know about, some of it you don't. We'll talk about that in the middle. We'll carry on with kind of the codexes and our thoughts on them. So yeah, so we've got Space Marines, then we've got Orcs. I'm excited about Orcs. I want to see your Orc army, Darren. You need to get that out on the table.
Do you know what? That Orc army has been sat in that. Yeah, do you know what? As soon as we get the channel up, I'm itching to play them, because I haven't played them for at least 2 editions now.
Yeah. They sound fun, I want to see your Orc army on the table. I think we need to that has to happen. So yeah, that should be good. So I think Orcs got a really big boost in 8th edition, so they're very playable at the moment. So it'll be interesting. I'm hoping that their codex continues with that, because the only worry with the way Games Workshop work with their flavour and their you know, the kind of the way that they write codexes is sometimes they get too excited around the narrative element of it, and that can sometimes really make the army suffer. So hopefully they don't put in too many stupid rules that start to complicate things for the orcs and start to make it harder for them to play, because at the moment, particularly in big bundles of, you know, 30 orcs and whatever, and like big old tons of foot slogging boys, they're actually a very competitive army at the moment. So hopefully they don't take that too far away. I mean, what's your favourite units of orcs? What's your secret sauce in the orcs? You're a mech man or a bike speed freak? What do you go for?
Yeah, I love just taking loads and loads and loads of just orc boys, just stomping them up the table. You've got to deal with them.
Yeah.
You got a 30, you know, a full squad of 30 coming at you, and we're not talking about one squad. Let's just go with the full hog. Just go as many as you possibly can. Have them chugging up the table. You've got to deal with them, because if you don't, they're on top of you.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's how we used to play it anyway. The old Green Tide. I'd better say since 7th and 6th, haven't really. No.
Yeah. Need to dust them off. I've lost your audio, Darren.
With you?
No, you're back. Panic over. Thought we lost you for a minute there.
So I get the hamsters back on the wheel.
Yeah, getting back on the wheel. So that's all. So you've got with Space Marines, Orcs. Talked a little bit about Death Guard. Anyone else? I'm sure there's a fourth one. What's the fourth one? Is it Grey Knights?
Yeah, so was it Space Marines, Chaos Space Marines, and then it's Grey Knights that's coming out next, and then it's Death Guard afterwards.
Cool. So that's interesting. So they've made sure that Grey Knights have got their own identity still, which is good, which is cool. Be interested to see some more Grey Knight units, because actually Grey Knights relatively don't have very many units to pick from.
Will they get the Primus Marines?
See that I'm gonna say no, but how cool would it be? I mean, the potential of detail you could put into a Grey Knight guy in Primus armour, that'd be pretty spectacular.
That would be really awesome. That'd be really cool to see.
Yeah.
Or even if someone starts converting up the Primaris to the Grey Knights.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, my screenshot is like frozen up. Hopefully it's not back. No, it's gone back again. That's cool, because the pose I was making looked very, very bad. Right. I've got some more people filling in the chat. You're right. Big Mech Dangskull, and I can't pronounce it. Oofzazone? Something like that. But anyway, welcome to the party. So they're the codexes that are coming. Pretty exciting stuff. I wanted to touch on, as I said, a couple of things. I'm going to talk a little bit about Heat Free, Age of Sigmar. I'll try and keep it quite brief, and then we'll go straight in and talk a little bit about the flavour of Age of Sigmar, of 8th edition, and what's kind of coming through. So briefly, and I will go briefly because obviously Darren wasn't there and I want to bring him in on this, but so we went to Heat Free on last Friday up at Warhammer World. First time I've played in a Warhammer World event probably for about 2.5 years, since they took the competitive edge off it. So it was nice to be back there. It really is a lovely place to play whatever game you're playing. And Heat Free was always going to be a good fun, because it's all trying to qualify for the final. It's a relatively competitive atmosphere, so right up my street. So I took my clan Skyra, which I've spoke about on the channel before. If you're not aware of them, briefly, I suppose they kind of all deep strike in. Well, they actually come up from the ground. They're all drill up, and they do lots of mortal wounds. Now, you know what mortal wounds are now, because we're all in a world of mortal wounds now in 40k. But basically, Age of Sigmar, there's probably a few more mortal wounds knocking around in Age of Sigmar. But in a nutshell, my army comes out of the ground and does a lot of mortal wounds, and then if it can't kill enough of the army, it generally loses. But if it kills enough of the army, then it wins. It's very, very simple, no-brainer. It's a cheesy list. It's pretty one-trick pony, but it's very easy to play, and I'm still not very experienced in Age of Sigmar, so it was kind of a good list for me to take to a competitive tournament and know that I could play it relatively easily. So my first game I played against Lizardmen, or I don't know what they're called now. They're called something else now. But anyway, Lizardmen were my first game. Played a young lad, first tournament, and to be honest with you, I felt like a bad man afterwards. I felt like it was not good because the game was over in under 10 minutes, and that's not fun for anyone, and that's a horrible way to start a tournament. So I felt extremely bad. We played the 3 places of power, which basically you characters are the only ones that can take the objectives. So I gave him first turn, he came forward, all his characters were in one area, which was a bit of a mistake. I then, on my turn 1, popped up, killed all his characters so he could no longer score for the rest of the game, put 2 characters on 2 objectives, and that was game over. So, pretty brutal, not nice, not a nice experience for him. I felt very, very bad afterwards, but I suppose it's a tournament, and I caught up with him a couple of times after the first game, and it did get better for him, the tournament. So, you know, hopefully no hard feelings there, but that's the cheesy side of a tournament. Second game up, I played against... Who did I play against in the second game? So in the second game, I played Iron Guts, the big orcs, they look like mega orcs, and quite a close game. I let him come to the objectives this time, gave him a couple of turns, and then I hit him. He survived quite well. If I hadn't managed to get the double turn, which I did, I think he would have rolled me, but I got the double turn and then did the same amount of damage again, which ultimately was too much for him to come back from, so I took that one. So that was 2 major victories. The last game of the day, I played a very themey death army, so it was a full female vampire themed army, which was very, very cool. So lots of female vampires on horses and all sorts of other shenanigans. It was actually a really solid list, and it was very, very close, but I took that to go into the end of the day with 3 major victories, which actually, and because of the points I scored, because it was basically 3 table-ins, I was on maximum points, which put me in on the Sunday morning as the top player in the tournament, top player of 88. So I then went on the live stream, so a few people might have caught me. If you didn't, it was a very boring game. I played the Carrigan Overlords, which are the dwarfs in hot air balloons, and it was very much cat and mouse. So he has a similar ability to me. So it was basically a case of who made who come down first, because the beta strike would always be the winner. He won the roll off. He basically made me come down because, without going into too much details, the mission that we played, if you hold all the objectives at the end of turn 3, you automatically win the game. So unless I came in, which I was holding back from, he then would have dropped in, taken all the objectives and won the game. So I had to come in first, which then meant he countered and he took a big slice out of my army. I then just had to play for the minor loss, so I backed off into my corner, held a couple of objectives to take a minor loss, which was the best I could do in the circumstances. So I went into the final game with 3 victories, 3 major victories and 1 minor loss. In the last game, I was really feeling tired, exhausted and very hungover, funny enough, and I played another death army with 3 zombie dragons, really mean list. But to be honest with you, I was just feeling, after I'd lost that game, I knew the chances are I probably wouldn't factor in the top 5. So I just thought I'd want to win, but I'm going to kind of take it easy. Shouldn't have really done it, should have put my foot down, because potentially with a major victory, I actually might have gone top 3. But it was one of those things, I took it easy. I got a minor victory rather than a major victory, and that forced me down to 8th place. But 8th place out of 88 players. Really, really good tournament. Thoroughly enjoyed it. I'm not sure I'll be back for the finals, but really, really cool. Really, really enjoyed it. So top stuff there. So that was my kind of experience. At the end of the show, if you've got any more questions about the tournament, feel free to fire them, and I'll answer them then. But anyway, let's talk about something else. Let's talk about the meta, and I'd be really interested to hear what the guys in the chat say, and also what you've kind of picked up. And I know you've not picked up too much, Darren, because your head's been in a shed, but we'll talk nevertheless.
Shed with no roof, might I add.
Yeah, with no roof. So the meta. So we've had our first major tournament. So Cali, the Caledonian Uprising, I believe it's called, something like that. It's one of the biggest, most competitive tournaments in the UK scene. it's always at this time of the year, and it's mainly at this time of the year because it's the last opportunity for you to qualify for the European Championships. So all the best players from around the country, all the most competitive players, tend to turn up for this tournament, and they did take the leap to 8th edition. So the lists that were very prevalent, and we'll talk about them, and we'll start off with the powerhouse, which seems to be everywhere at the moment, which is the Storm Raven spam. So have you heard about this, Darren?
Yes. Horrible.
What are you thinking about it?
Do you know what? If I'm going to be honest, I actually love the fact that Storm Ravens have come back. That was probably one of my favourite vehicles in 5th and 6th. So I'm kind of happy on this one. But I'm not happy that people are taking advantage of it, just spamming the hell out of it. But it's not just the Storm Ravens though, is it? Because even I've seen some of the elder stuff as well coming up with their flyers. Yeah.
It's the Storm Ravens are the one that's really doing the rounds because it's got so many guns. And what they do, so basically, if you've not kind of heard of it, what happens in principle is basically the Storm Ravens. Everything starts on the board in 8th edition. So you have 5 or 6 Storm Ravens, and then they are all Ultramarine, funny enough, and sitting in the middle of this ring of Storm Ravens is Mr. Rowboat himself, Roberto Guilliman, and what he does is he gives everything that's Ultramarine within a range rerolls to hit and rerolls to wound. And these Storm Ravens put out so much fire for relatively cheap points, they can literally shoot everybody off the table. And that's where, and because of their speed, what they can do is they can kind of start off in hover mode, so they don't need to shoot off, because obviously as soon as they go into sort of flying mode, then they have to go minimum distance. But instead they go into hover mode, they sit there and they literally just gun down your opponent. And because they've got 14 wounds and their toughness 8 and a 3-up save, they can afford to just stay there and take a little bit of punishment. They then shoot the hell out of the opponents. Once the opponent's weak, then they can go and jet off to the objectives to win the game. So it's a really nasty formation. Well, it's not formation, but nasty army build. Extremely powerful. Obviously, because Guilliman is under the 10 wound threshold, you can't take him out to then allow you to stop those rerolls. Really challenging. So, and they were ripping armies apart. Literally, games were finishing in half an hour. So, it's a worrying start to 8th edition. Not too worrying. Because obviously with Space Marine Codex coming out, hopefully maybe they get a price increase potentially, or other armies start to be able to compete, or we find the meta evolves into a meta that is not just about elite armies, more swarmy, and then because actually against like 120 boys, maybe they wouldn't have done so well, but because everyone's trying to go for that tough units, they're able to just cut them down. How would you like to face that, Darren?
Yeah, I'll take it on. No worries.
Yeah. What, with blood letters?
Yeah. Loads of blood letters.
Loads of blood letters. Yeah. Yeah.
That's alright. I just swamp them out with Helldrakes.
Helldrakes, yeah.
Fight fire with fire.
Yeah. Helldrakes are pretty good, to be fair. Helldrakes are pretty good. So that's one of the lists. The other lists that are doing extremely well are Smite spam. So Demon players and Chaos Space Marine players are using lots of Smite. And that can be used in quite a lot of different ways. So you can do that with Demon Princes, you can do that with Heralds, you can do that even with Horrors, Brimstone Horrors. All these units allow you to do Smite. Smite as a single power, just on 1 or 2 characters, is pretty much not that scary, unless you're lucky enough to roll those 10s to get a d6 mortal wounds. But on the whole, they're not that scary. But when you've got so many units that are firing out Smite at you,
very powerful.
It becomes very powerful. Exactly. And particularly if you've got units that then can't be targeted, because a lot of these lists are being built with almost like fodder in front of them. So you'll have Horrors that are coming forward that have got a very resilient save. So if horrors are a 4-up invuln, and then behind them they have things like demon princes that can't be targeted because they're under the threshold and they're firing out smites. And you combine that with potentially the gunboat that is Magnus flying around as well, and you've suddenly got a very, very scary proposition. Darren, you taking notes?
Yeah, I've already made these notes, mate.
Yeah? Building it.
Right, it comes.
Yeah. Note for no
Thousand Suns.
No retreat. Lots of sorcerers. Sorcerers on discs.
Yep.
We know it's
Gonna
coming,
make a lot
Darren.
of friends.
Darren was telling me before the show that he's going for a tame Thousand Suns army for no retreat. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I bet.
You seem right through me.
Yeah, absolutely. I have totally seen right through you. And this is the same guy that will then be going the weekend after to Horus Heresy, no retreat, and will be dropping Magnus, no doubt, with D 18-inch bubbles. Yeah, you might be smirking over there. Yeah.
No, listen, I'm going to be honest with yourself. That 18-inch bubble I think is ultimate dirt. I won't do that because 2 reasons. First reason is the major one. Stephen will not invite me back. That'll be it. Game over. 2, I will not make no friends. So I'll play it fair. So when I go over there, I won't, unless I play someone that's an absolute, not very nice to play with, which you never get that in no retreats. Everyone's pretty cool. So unless I play someone like that, then I'll have to do use the full extent. But otherwise, no, I won't do that. That's just a bit overpowered.
Yeah, yeah.
I want to go there and have fun. I don't want the game ending in 5 minutes because that ruins it for you.
Yeah.
Just chill out, enjoy it. I'm even tempted to say, forget Magnus. I'll just take Harriman. No worries.
Until you play me in the final, and Angron rips his head off.
Hey, listen, you're going to get smashed. You're not going to get nowhere near him. Angron's going to drop down, and the boys are just going to be there, just like, yeah, all right, mate, whatever. Come on, bring it on. Oh, what's that? You dead over there? Oh, Angron, what's the matter, mate? What's the matter? You laying on the floor? Oh, mate, come on, get up. That's what's going to happen, mate.
Your magic powers are not going to do anything with an axe round your head.
Get out of it. You're going to do nothing. I ain't scared.
You'll see this very soon, guys. As soon as this will be one of the first games in the studio. If Darren can get his Thousand Suns actually to a playable condition, and not sitting on a desk.
In there sitting on the desk. They're not sitting on the desk.
What's this, Dave? I've played Darren before. I enjoyed the game. I don't believe you. You've played a different Darren then, David, because it can't be the same one. I don't believe you. I don't believe you. Who's this? Is David McDonald actually? Is that your mum in the other room or something, Darren?
Wow.
Darren plays well.
I told you not to say that. All right, come on, Sarah.
Oh dear.
No,
we've gone well off piece now. We've got a few more people in the chat. Hello, Graham Collins, the legend. If there's a live stream anywhere, you know that Graham Collins will be in that live stream.
Thanks for sticking up for me, David. Much appreciate it.
His absolute dedication to the cause, that guy. You know, he's an absolute legend. Who have we got? We've got Do I Troll You? What a name. That is a cool name. Maybe you do. Maybe you do. What's going on here? So, Johnny Rockstar. That's a cool name. Anyway, the chat is like proper, absolute bustling tonight. So thank you very much, everyone that's joined us. It's really, really cool for you to be here. Thank you so much. It's I wish we had more to say. Really, we thought there was going to be like 2 people in the chat, so we were just going to talk to each other for the hour. But actually, we've got a really good crowd in, so it's cool. What else to cover? So what at the moment, Darren? So from a list, I know obviously you've not got everything ready. What are you kind of looking at? What do you want in your list? How are you feeling like building your 8th edition first list?
Do you know what? If I'm completely honest, I really want to take Khan.
Yeah.
But looking at the chat, I can see a lot of people are already wanting to take Khan and the Khorne Berserkers and that.
Yeah.
Myself. So.
You don't know.
I don't know, dude. If I'm honest, until I get some real proper games in, I don't really know what I want to take.
Yeah.
How I normally work my list is this: I'll paint a model to a certain standard, and I think, yeah, actually, do you know what? I want it up that model. Don't care what it does.
Yeah.
That model in there, and I'll just try to build an army list around that.
Yeah.
So long, whatever it is, that'll be my centerpiece, and I'll just work an army around it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So maybe I'll take a close combat Thousand Suns army. Just throw people off.
You definitely throw people off. Just don't cast anything.
Yeah, just don't cast anything. I'll throw people right off. They're castle up, and here I come rushing in.
Your game would be very short. You'd spend a lot of time in the bar, I reckon. If you play Thousand Suns without actually hitting anybody, that would be definitely interesting. Definitely interesting. What was I going to say? So, yeah, with the Berserkers actually got a little bit of a hit in the FAQ. So, I don't know whether you guys have picked it up, but basically, so the Berserkers can attack twice in combat, but their combats are two separate combats. So it has an advantage. What it does mean is if you kill something outright and you're close enough to consolidate into another unit, you could potentially kill 2 units, which is the cool thing. So that's awesome. So that might happen, which is great. So from that point of view, awesome. The bad thing is because it's 2 separate combats, you can interrupt it, which is brutal for the Berserkers. So particularly if those Berserkers are going into a unit that really they need both of their attacks to kill, otherwise they're going to take a pounding. That unit can take their first attack and then spend 2 command points to then interrupt them before they get a chance to hit back second time. If you've got something, I don't know, probably a Trigon's a bad, I'll tell you, Trigon's a bad example. A unit of Gene Stealers. So a unit of Gene Stealers that potentially might tank quite a few of those first attacks on their Invon. Maybe if they've got, I don't know, if they've got Catalyst on them or something like that as well. So they've tanked a few of their attacks. Now the Berserkers have maybe killed a good chunk of them, but actually then the Gene Stealers can go, right, I'm going to interrupt that attack, and now I'm going to have a go at attacking you. And obviously the Gene Stealers, with them 6s being -4 -4 AP, those Berserkers are going to drop really, really quickly. Now that's a big difference from how a lot of people were presuming to play it. So I think that will affect a lot of people's Berserker lists. They're going to have to be very careful with when they attack and who they attack. I think that's quite interesting. So we've got a few questions in here, so let's just have a little. I'll ignore the stupid ones. Scragguard, Nick, don't you encourage him. How are Necrons doing in tourneys? So I've not heard anything really positive coming out from a Necron point of view. I think they're a lot more of a challenging force to play than they were before, but they're definitely resilient and they're definitely good. They're just not coming through at the moment as a top tier army, but the meta is so unstable at the moment that I think it's impossible to kind of say what's a bad or a good army. The army
change when the next codex comes out.
Say again, sorry, mate.
That could change when the next codex comes out for them.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, and I think that's the thing. Yeah, I mean, you've only got to look at like Tau. So Tau everyone was saying that they were doomed, but actually, the introduction of the Forge World stuff, which I suppose we'll talk about a bit of Forge World in a minute as well. The introduction of Forge World stuff has given them a massive big lift, because the Yavara Riptide is insane, and the Taudar is still playable, which is crazy as well. But also they've got certain builds with their commanders that are really, really effective as well. So I don't think, I think Necrons, as you said in your videos, Nick, will be fine. I think they've got some good units, and I just think it's going to be an opportunity for people to reinvent what looks like a good Necron list, if that makes sense. What do you reckon, Darren?
See, I haven't read any of the Necron stuff. I know it sounds really bad, but I just haven't had the chance to see what any of their units can do yet. So I haven't had that opportunity yet to see that. So hopefully I'll get a few games in there.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Can't comment on that at the moment.
Fair enough. What else we got here? So Also Wargames. So Martin saying ain't got a clue what to take to the Northwest Open. So good little prompt there. Northwest Open now. Wow, it's like literally under a month away, which is really, really scary. Pretty mental. Still quite a lot of work to do to kind of just tighten up a few things there. Both me and Martin have had headaches dealing with all the rules queries and FAQs and all sorts, and that's still not completely done yet, so we're still sort of working on that to make sure that the guys that are playing kind of know where they are with things. But it's been a challenge, I'm not going to lie. I think both me and Martin agree it's been probably much more stressful than we thought it was going to be, but there you go. But it's going to be awesome. And what to take, Martin? What would I take if I was you? So Martin's got Dark Eldar, he's got Tyranids, he's got White Scars, he's got some sort of Chaos Army that's probably still in bits. I think that's about it. So I reckon, your Dark Eldar build's probably not best for 8th because the bikes aren't that great anymore. So I wouldn't say Dark Eldar Army's that good. Probably, I reckon there's still some life in the White Scars, but they're quite expensive now, bikes, aren't they? Bikes are really expensive.
The Tyranids.
Tyranids, yeah. Tyranids, can't go wrong with Tyranids.
Power win. There you go, sorted.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Plus you've got a lovely painted Nid army, haven't you, Martin? Gone for the old alien thing.
Yeah, he's got that. Actually, to be fair, that army would probably do quite well because it's all like Gene Stealers and Warriors, and that's quite effective now. You should get that out. Get your maybe add to it. You're too lazy, you won't add to it. But that 1500 point Nid list you had would actually be probably very, very good in 8th edition. See what you can do with that, maybe. Add something else to it, and that'd be good. We've got loads of questions in here, Darren. Loads and loads of questions.
Not coming up on my phone, unfortunately.
Well, you're no help to me, Darren. You're no help.
I am really sorry.
You're just absolutely useless. Get back out in that shed, make that studio. Go. What other questions we got? So, any Orcs success in tournaments? Yes, Orcs are doing really, really well, and I think the way to play Orcs at the moment is exactly as Darren said earlier. It is all around. Well, there's two builds. You can either do mech, so their mech are relatively cheap and very, very effective, or you can go mass foot slogging boys, and that works really, really well as well at the moment. And yeah, I think they're doing well. Same as Guard are doing well with foot slogging Guard. There's definitely some joy to have. I think they're doing well. What about Dark Eldar? Do you think they look viable and competitive? Absolutely. Dark Eldar are really, really powerful. Their mobility, and actually they're relatively reasonably pointed, so you can get a lot of units. They have quite a bit of sting. They can move around the ball very, very successfully, and they've got some hard hitting weapons as well. And the big thing that they've got in their favour is monsters and big elite units are everywhere in 8th edition because they hit so hard. Dark Eldar have got the right weapon to deal with them so well with being poison. So, you know, things like Primus Marines are really going to hurt to Dark Eldar just because of the volume of shots. So I think Dark Eldar are very, very good. What do we say here? So Carl was saying, at a push, who would be your 3 top tier armies? So if we're just talking about armies as a whole, rather than just individual builds, your best armies are Tyranids, Dark Eldar, and probably Demons, or just what we could say is Chaos in general, because they've just got access to so much. They're probably, I would say, the top 3. Your outsiders would be Orcs. And to be fair, when I say Dark Eldar, you might as well just call it Ynnari, because nobody's not going to take Ynnari. And Harlequins also factor high up as well. Harlequins are insane. What do you think about Harlequins, awesome. Darren?
Oh, I'm loving them.
Yeah?
We're up in, Van.
Oh, yeah. I think you should paint a Harlequin army. We'll get you on a Harlequin army, Darren.
Elder, mate. An Elder.
Yeah, not your thing.
I'm going to stick to Chaos, mate. Chaos Nids.
Yeah. Yeah.
Might do Space. Oh, Grey Knights.
Yeah.
Get Grey Knights.
Get your Grey Knights out. Awesome. What other questions have we got here? I can see Mass Swarm doing really well in 8th edition. I'm waiting on rules, so forgive me if I'm wrong, but multi-wounds, no instant death, they can finally swarm in true sense of the word. So yeah, so like I know yourself, Scrag, you got guard, mass guardsman, really good, with a few characters that can buff them that are really hard to target, and then some big guns at the back. It's a great way to build an army. And then slowly bring them forward, take those objectives, just do mass damage. So yeah, 100%. Swarm is a big thing at the moment. All the buffs, all the advantages are going for infantry to try and give them a chance against the hugely elite mass damaging units. If that's how they've balanced it. But mass infantry, cheap infantry, really powerful, really powerful.
Yeah, I think that's the way to go.
Yeah.
But no worries about templates anymore.
No.
You speed them up straight away, so you can just clump them all together. And just up. You could even bring back the trays again.
Yeah.
Fantasy.
Yeah. I need to get some trays actually.
It's not a bad shout.
Yeah. I think that like for my gaunts and stuff like that, I think it'd be great. You know, just chuck them all together, move them up, speed up the game.
That'd be awesome. Just make some pre-made trays or something, or even just get like the little discs and that, magnetise them off together and that, so you can just push them straight up.
Yeah. I think there's definitely some value in that, 100%. Martin's saying he's got 2 Fire Raptors, 2 Ravens, and 6 Storm Talons. Yep, that would make quite a strong army. Just a little bit. I don't think... See, Fire Raptors are awesome. I don't think points for points they stand up against the Storm Raven. They're better, they're more powerful, they kick up more, but their points-wise, I think, make them slightly less efficient than Storm Ravens. But Fire Raptors is very good. And Storm Talons are awesome as well. Yay, my War finally works. Yep, big time. Graham Collins, speaking of Space Marine bikes, how would you go about building a bike army these days? Ooh, so bike armies are pretty much in trouble at the moment because they're too expensive. But I would say that potentially, as Martin has, sort of melters on your bikes is probably the best way to go. Melters, and then you've got your bolters as well to deal with different types of target. The problem is, your points wise, you can't get so many bikes in the list you used to, and they've lost a lot of their benefits. If you have to go for a bike army only and you just want to build a solely bike army, the best way to go is go Dark Angels and go Raven Wing, because they've still got some benefits. I think they can come out of combat and then charge again, so they've still got some strength and ability. Standard Marine bikes have pretty much lost all that, and they're still very expensive. So at the moment, until the Codex gives them some extra buff, bike armies themselves probably not the right way to go, in my opinion. You haven't really had a chance to have a look, have you, Darren?
Not on the Marine side, no. So I was thinking about doing the bringing my corn bikes.
Yeah.
Because I've got loads of them painted up.
Yeah.
They're expensive.
That's the thing. It's just the points. Haven't played versus Death Guard. Haven't played versus Death Guard as Dark Anari, have you? No, I've not. I have not played either of those armies yet. Sorry. Necrons. Nick's just randomly shouting Necrons.
I think he likes Necrons.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, I don't know.
Something. Yeah,
might do.
Something. But what?
There's a lot of videos going up at the moment from him.
He loves this one though. You seen his avatar? I'd never knew he was collecting Thousand Suns. It's a good little.
Really?
It's Magnus. He's pretending to be Magnus.
Oh, well done, mate.
Oh, he love that. He'll love that so much. Yeah. Every time. So every time you comment on one of Nick's videos, tell him how much of a fantastic video it is. But then say, I never knew you were a big fan of Magnus. I thought you were collecting Slanesh. See, yeah, do that. Sorry, Nick. Sorry. What have we got here? I see. I is in the house. Yeah. Dear. Yeah, that was so cool actually. Yeah, Nick's daughter. Um, yeah, one of his videos is just so funny. It's just a classic. You need to go and see. His Necron videos are just class. Even if you don't like Necrons, if you want a good old laugh, then yeah, go and see Nick's videos. What have we got here? Death Guard Zombie Cults were singing 51 attacks on my Dark Eldar Warriors. That sounds pretty brutal. Scrag Guard, my 58th place in the Last Chance Open last year will be higher this year if I bring the same force. Yeah, absolutely. 100%, mate. 100%. Samuel, now templates are gone. I want to play my Vosterian in ranks. I can't pronounce that. For some guard thing. Vosterians? I can't pronounce it, sorry.
With that.
In ranks, just so I can I can't spell or read, sorry. But yeah, get them in ranks, they'll look cool. You can proper do old school, that'd be awesome. Eldar Wind Riders, not infantry now. No, and actually they're not wonderful, to be fair. They're okay, but you won't want to spam them. To be fair, Scrag, you've got quite a few, but you've not got as many as some people. But I think what your list that you brought to Last Chance Open will probably do better now than the list you took to play against Nick, that brutalised Nick. That was a very nasty 7th edition list. Your list that you took to the Last Chance Open actually would probably be a much better list now in 8th edition. But it's great because you've got that list ready to go, so you're in a good place, mate. My 1850 Raven Wing were like 1300 last edition. They are more expensive, but they are still very good. But yeah, that's the thing. Bikes have got expensive. They're difficult to play. Space Marine Codex will hopefully give White Scar some benefits. Yeah, I think it will do. Have you seen any homunculus Coven armies yet? No. This is my primary army in 7th. It was awful and only came out for friendly games. I think it's going to be decent, 100%. And I think that there's some chance there to play it. I mean, I've not looked. I'm not a huge Dark Elder player or fan or whatever, but I think there's definitely some ability there. What else have we got here? I'm gonna go do. What's this? I'm gonna go and do that right now on your Necron video, Nick. Yeah, nice one. And you've got the right name to do it, Mr. Troll. I have no infantry in my Elder now. Fair enough. Medusa Eye Shot was changed from a flamer to general shooting weapon. I don't know what that is, to be honest. Medusa. That's just, I don't know what that is. Do you know what that is, Darren? What's a Medusa Eye Shot?
I can't tell you.
Can't tell you. Is that you thumbing up? Is that you putting thumbs up, or is that Sean? Is Sean watching us? Or
No, that's me, mate. That's me.
That's you. Okay, cool. Heat 3 was fun. Respect to the Squid guy. Yes, so I didn't speak about that. So the guy that won Heat 3 Age Sigmar tournament took Night Goblins with giant squeaks. That's so cool. He won the whole tournament against like horrible Skyfires, against nasty lists, people that brought cheese like me, and he brought Night Goblins and Squigs. That's so cool. And he actually won 3 favourite player votes as well, which didn't factor in the score because they don't factor that in the competitive heats. But to bring that kind of list to like a competitive tournament and win the whole thing, I absolutely hats off to him. Top lad. Comment bomb on Nick's video. Been a while since we did that. Let's do that. Let's do that. That's a great shout. Okay, so we need a link really. If we had a link, someone go on there. I'll tell you what. There you go. Martin, get us a link. Get us a link in the chat if you can for Nick's last video. Let's drop it in the thing and let's everybody go over. Even if you're watching this afterwards, let's comment bomb Nick's latest video. If we can't get a link in there, just his latest video, and then let's comment bomb with something like "Never knew you were a big fan of Magnus." something like that, something Magnus related. Let's all jump on there. Good old comment bomb on there. That'd be funny. Let's do that. What else have we got here? So I have a list I'm enjoying at the moment for Tau Fire Warriors, pumping out 144 shots at strength 5. That sounds pretty scary. That sounds decent. That sounds good, eh?
It does.
I don't
Well,
have
suddenly
any,
being a Chaos player, it's kind of like, okay.
I don't really have any
Let's
Fire
get up to
Warriors.
you quite quick.
Yeah.
Damn, that's... Do you know what? I like Fire Warriors.
I could come round to them if they're putting that sort of damage out.
Bet you could. Mr. Filth Bucket there. Gonna play a friendly game. I've only got 50 Fire Warriors. Oh, really?
I don't do friendly games. You know that, Darren.
I haven't played you yet, John.
We haven't actually ever played, have we?
Oh, no, we've done Broken Alliance.
Yeah, we did do Broken Alliance, but you were a long way away from me, though, weren't you?
I was right next to you.
Were you?
Yeah.
Oh, well, did we team up?
I was only up right next to you because I used the Gene Stealer card and I just popped up behind you.
Yeah, you weren't right next to me, Darren. You were right next to everybody. Because everybody else had about 3 units, and you had about 10.
Well, I can't help if they were cheap in points.
Yeah. So if you ever played the game Broken Alliance, it's a really fun game. So if you've got a few people around and you're kind of having a few drinks and you want to play a bit of casual 40k, it's a really good fun game. It's basically you just take lots of tiny little units and you take a character as kind of your leader, and you kind of all making like little plots and things to try and kill each other. It's a good fun game. But yeah, so we had the limitations of the points and the, you know, bring a character. So everyone had their kind of armies. I'm not really one to speak because in like 300 points or whatever, I still managed to get my Wyvara in there, so I can't really speak. But Darren had Gene Stealer Cult, and he had about 10 units to everybody else's like 3. So yeah, it
wasn't as bad as Sean's though, was it?
What was Sean?
One that had 600 points worth of goodies that he added on.
Yeah, Sean didn't have time to make his list, so he was just making up as he went along, and I think his character in itself was worth about 300 points. Graham Collins says he's got some pink Fire Warriors. Won't let me post the link. Ah, that's a shame. Okay. I don't. Let me see whether I might be able to find. Let's have a look whether let me do it. Let's try.
Oh, Carl, the chapter tactics for chaos.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No.
I really hope they're going to be awesome. I'm guessing you're talking about the new books that's coming out, yeah?
Yeah.
F-Guard, they've got to be... You know what? I've got a little Death Guard army being commissioned at the moment.
Hey, there we go. There's a link, guys. So jump on that link. That's the link that you comment bomb Mr. Nick on. Get on there, comment bomb him. Do it.
You know you're an evil man.
Yes, I am an evil man, you know it. Very much so.
There's a place for people like you, Ace.
There is. Oh, that's class. Right, I love that. Well done. That is a fantastic shout there, Martin. You are a legend. Cool. Right, it's so hot. Is it hot where you are, Darren? Because I'm absolutely melting right now.
Yeah, it's been hot.
It is warm, isn't it? It is warm. Cool. Okay, so we'll give it like another couple of minutes for any other sort of last questions, and then we'll wrap it up for tonight because it's been an awesome show, guys. You've all been legends. You are absolute bosses. But yeah, any last questions? Any questions for me, for Darren, on whatever we like, and after that we will call it a day. Right, Nick. I can choose to read out what I like. That's the thing. So if I choose not to read out,
I don't know what that nickname could be, John.
No. There we go. There we go. That's the beauty, eh? Right. Oh, it's all gone downhill really rapidly. So if anyone's watching this prior to the stream, it's on a slippery slide now.
They do say when you play with fire,
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Um, Demons Battle Report, John. I don't really know what that is.
Do a demon battle report.
Yes, thunderstorms in the oh yeah, oh cool. Oh yeah. Fine. Thunderstorms in the northeast. We need thunderstorms here to clear this goddamn weather. It is crazy hot.
Listen, enjoy it while we got it, because in a couple of months' time you're going to be whinging because it's too cold.
This is very true. This is very true. But yeah, I can do. I know what I'm going to show you. Look look what I'm working on at the moment, Darren. You're like this.
Chaos.
The Big Bertha pod. How about that? Can you see it?
That's beautiful, mate.
It's all good.
Now, question for yourself.
It is a massive lump of resin.
Is it heavy?
It is. It weighs an absolute ton. And this, in fact, was given to me as a present, which was lovely.
Really?
Yeah, so I bought this from Warhammer World, and my good friend Toby, who some people will know in the stream, literally said, "I've got one at home, gathering dust, never going to build it, don't like resin. You can buy me a few drinks and you can have it." I was like, "What?"
No way.
So then literally in the morning I took back my one and Toby gave me this. So how cool is that? So what a legend. So I'm looking forward to painting that, but I'm not looking forward to transporting that to Gibraltar. But there we go.
Bringing that to Gibraltar.
I am. And I'm going to put it on Magnus's head and he can wear it as a hat. Stick that in your pipe and smoke it, Darren.
Don't worry, you'll drop down first, Magnus will drop out afterwards, and then he'll do his 18-inch bubble.
Oh dear.
I'll get some lucky sixes in there as well for you, John.
Yeah, I bet you will. Bellboy. I hope that is that a reference to the legends that is the Who, Graham? I'm guessing it is, but yes. We've got to keep going now. Keep my lip buttoned down. That's a nice model. Yes, it is. Cool. Right, I am sweating buckets. We are going to call it a day. If you haven't already, please do comment bomb Nick Beer, Idic Beer. He'll love that so much. Something about Magnus. But thank you so much, guys, for joining us. Thank you, Darren, for coming on. Appreciate
Pleasure.
it. You're a legend. He's gone quiet.
You're the only person to say that.
Yeah, it's true. I'm just being nice at the moment. Once we go offline, I'll start being horrible to you again.
Worries.
Yeah. If you haven't already as well, please do check out Twisted Dice. As I said, content at the moment is pretty slow, but get on there now and click the bell button. So then, as soon as content drops, you'll be the first to see it. And when it does drop, it's going to be dropping hot. So not one to miss out on. But thank you very much, guys. Really do appreciate your support. Thanks so much for all your comments. It's been a great show. And until next week, we'll see you again soon. But bye for now. See you later.
Yes, guys.